What's happening, everybody? JayShockblast here, and it has finally happened. I never thought I would see the day. This is absolutely amazing. The announcement is official. It is up there. Walt Disney Company press release out there. Interviews happening. Walt Disney Company and 21st Century Fox today announced that they have entered into a definitive agreement for Disney to acquire 21st Century Fox, including the 20th Century Fox film and television studios, along with cable and international TV businesses, for approximately $52.4 billion in stock, subject to adjustment. Absolutely insane, and I'm not going to focus on all the other stuff like, Fox, sports and, the TV stuff and whatever, even though I am definitely excited to see Disney get some amazing properties into their portfolio, like The Simpsons and Avatar and Family Guy and Modern Family and, whatever else you want to, throw in there. What we're obviously here on this channel to focus on is what happens next in the MCU. How do we roll in the newly acquired rights, reacquisition of rights to the X-Men, to the Fantastic Four, and most importantly, Deadpool. Why do I mention Deadpool separately like that? Well, literally in the press release, okay? It's in the press release. It blows my mind. In the press release, I'm going to read the whole paragraph, okay? Combining with Disney are 21st Century Fox's critically acclaimed film production businesses, including 20th Century Fox, Fox Searchlight Pictures, and Fox 2000, which together offer a diverse and compelling storytelling businesses and are the homes of Avatar, X-Men, Fantastic Four, and Deadpool, as well as a bunch of other stuff. Literally highlighted 4 franchises: Avatar, X-Men, Fantastic Four, and Deadpool. Deadpool is so important that they are highlighted at the beginning of the press release, after Fantastic Four, after X-Men, and after Avatar. How incredible is that? Congratulations, Ryan Reynolds. You are a godsend to Deadpool fans everywhere, and this is amazing. So, another clarification here. Disney could not have made it clearer that they own the rights to make Fantastic Four content. Now, I know there's a studio in Germany, or a production company, whatever you want to call it, in Germany called Constantine Studios or Films or whatever, and they bought the actual rights back in like 1984 or 1986. But it seems as though that is not an issue. They have made it clear in a press release, literally introducing the deal, that they have the rights to Fantastic Four. However that works out, not up for us to decide. The thing that is clear is they can do what they want with Marvel's first family. They can do what they want with the X-Men, and they can do what they want with Deadpool. And I want to start with Deadpool because he's the easiest one to cover, and Deadpool 2 is like far into production. And all I have to say is, if Ryan Reynolds is not on a plane to Atlanta with his costume in tow for Deadpool to film even a 5-second scene for Avengers Infinity War, this deal is for nothing, okay? There is no possible way there is not going to be some reference to this in Infinity War. They have to do it somehow, some way. I don't need some massive production part of it. We don't need anything like that. Just some alluding to, or, especially like Deadpool just randomly popping his head in. Maybe he's out of place. Maybe he makes a joke. Maybe it's an after credit scene. Whatever it may be, it will literally be the hugest part of the movie. And that says a lot because Infinity War looks incredible. All right. That's not the main event. That's just the appetizer. While we're covering Deadpool, though, Bob Iger, president, CEO, overlord of Disney at the moment, was quoted today as saying that it's not going to... here it is. Here's the exact quote. Iger specifically calls out Deadpool, wants to keep making sequels. There may be, quote, these are quotations, there may be an opportunity for an R-rated Marvel brand as long as we let audiences know what's coming. Now look, we don't need Deadpool to be rated R, okay? PG-13, there's nothing wrong with that, all right? Rated R, I feel like you're kind of like going out of your way to do some stuff, and you don't have to do that, all right? I don't need it to be rated R, but obviously I want Ryan Reynolds to have whatever creative freedom he needs to make the best Deadpool movie possible. But here's the biggest takeaway. Disney did not just spend $52.4 billion and assume another like $16 million in debt to screw it all up. So calm down, folks. They're not going to mess up the process that got us to all these amazing franchises like Alien. You know, we're not going to have some PG-rated Alien movie. They're just not going to do it. It's stupid. It doesn't make sense. And they would be devaluing their product. They are going to let things happen as they will. Now, does that apply to the X-Men and the Fantastic Four? Well, as far as the Fantastic Four are concerned, blow it up. Start it over. Nobody cares, all right? Nobody liked the last Fantastic Four movie, except for maybe weirdos and, like, complete fanboys. But the last Fantastic Four movie was a travesty as far as virtually every comic book fan is concerned. I don't think anybody liked any of the casting, and we don't need it, okay? So, done, gone, start over. No questions asked. I don't think anybody has any problems with that. The only thing that I want to see Marvel do, and Kevin Fiege and whoever it may be, the only thing that I really want to see happen is I don't want them to pretend we don't know who the Fantastic Four are. All right, we are so far into the process at this point. Just assume we know who they are. We don't need another origin story. Just assume that we know the Fantastic Four exist. We know that they're a thing, and we know what to expect moving forward, and just do it, okay? We don't need an origin story again. We've had 2 of those. It doesn't need a third just to get them into the MCU. Start it assuming that the other movies happened and explained who they are, and this is just an all-new cast, an all-new group, and I would say I don't want them to necessarily be that young, okay? They don't have to be as young as the last group was. They don't have to be old either. I mean, like, Mr. Fantastic isn't necessarily old with his gray streaks. I mean, he just had an accident in space. It is what it is, all right? Johnny Storm and Sue Storm, you know, they should definitely be younger, but they don't have to be, you know, complete kids, you know? So that's how I feel about Fantastic Four, and I think everybody agree with me. With the X-Men, a little bit of a different story, all right? It's not the same. They've got, this is the 4th film that's coming out next November. It is X-Men Dark Phoenix, and I mean, we haven't seen a whole lot. We've seen some pictures, some imagery. They are far into production, and I think that should be the last movie, all right? I think everything else that they have going on just needs to stop. The good thing about Deadpool is that it doesn't really necessarily completely exist in that, you know, X-Men universe that they were creating. I think Days of Future Past, I think First Class, I think Apocalypse, all those movies are just such a weird timeline that will not work with what MCU is doing right now. And if we're going to start over, if we're going to start bringing things in, we need to make sure that everything fits nicely into what the MCU is doing, and we have people that are committed to the process for the long run, okay? This is a long game. It's not like, all right, we're about to start Phase 4 soon, and I feel like Phase 4 is that opportunity to kind of reboot a little bit and to get the process rolling for other people. Now, I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, you know, Robert Downey Jr. is not getting any younger. Scarlett Johansson, Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans, you know, Jeremy Renner, all these people are far bigger stars than they were, you know, 7 to 10 years ago when this process all started, and I don't understand it. I would never want to personally walk away from, you know, guaranteed paychecks, like massive paychecks that these guys are getting, royalties, whatever it may be, but apparently they do, and that's fine. That's their right. That's up to them. But I want to make sure that whoever we're bringing into the fold is committed to the long game, because This is going to keep going. And when we bring in the X-Men, we bring in the Fantastic Four, we bring in all these groups, I really kind of feel like this is our opportunity to do it right. And, you know, I don't need an origin story for the X-Men either. I think it should be assumed that we know who they are. I hope there's a way that they can use. I mean, it would have been great if they had already done Dark Phoenix and Days of Future Past came after. But, I mean, I kind of feel like it would be really nice if they just found a way to close off that chapter of the X-Men and start a new one. If they want to use, you know, the Sophie Turners and the Olivia Munns and, well, I can't really use Evan Peters, but Ty Sheridan, you know, Alexander Shipp, and all those people that they have, you know, Nicholas Hoult, that's fine. I mean, I think they are a little bit young. I apologize, somebody brought it up on Twitter, that they can't picture Ty Sheridan standing next to Chris Evans, you know, as Cyclops and Captain America, and I get that. I mean, but who's to say Chris Evans is going to be Captain America moving forward? You know, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen, all right? But I will say that, you know, we don't want people to be too young, and we don't want them to be too old. We don't want to start casting, you know, Cyclops as an older, you know, somebody in their like late 30s, early 40s, because, you know, 10 years from now, who knows? I don't know. I will say that this is just a great opportunity to really start fresh. I don't think everybody has necessarily loved everything about the recent X-Men movies. They've been decent, but they've had their issues, you know. I love McAvoy is you know, Charles Xavier, but it's a different Charles Xavier. Fassbender as Magneto, absolutely have loved every step of the way. But like, this is the chance to blow it up and start over, and that is where the focus should lie. It's a chance to get it done right from the start and have it all integrated. I don't want to see them waste their time, you know, weaving everything together. And if it means that we don't get a New Mutants movie, as interesting as that sounded, I'm fine with it. I mean, honestly, like, there's no problem there. I mean, it was a weird kind of take on it, and I'm sure those people will be a little disappointed because I'm sure they were excited about it. But there's a chance to use them all again anyway. I mean, the Multiple Man movie with James Franco later. One thing I do not want to see, as I close this out, I do not want to see Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. He made a decision to move on, okay? He made a decision that he was done playing Wolverine, and if we are going to do Wolverine moving forward, that needs to stay true. We need to find our next Wolverine, and that needs to be who comes over into the MCU. We don't, I mean, look, I would love to see Hugh Jackman in the Deadpool movie, in, you know, an Avengers movie. I would love to see Wolverine as a member of the Avengers, but he moved on. He made that choice. He said, I'm done playing Wolverine, and that's his right. But, you know, it is what it is. We can't have this back and forth stuff. So I personally am of the belief that you blow it up, you start over, you've got all the characters that you want, you let Kevin do his thing. In Kevin Fiege we trust. I think he's really, like, I understand there's been some changes and I haven't always been crazy about him, but it is for the better good. Think about what this means for Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, it opens up, you know, the Shi'ar, the Skrulls. I mean, James Gunn must be flipping his lid. It isn't just the Avengers that's affected here. It's the cosmic universe. I mean, oh my God, there's going to be a third Guardians movie, and the Shi'ar and the Skrull, everybody. We already knew the Inhumans and the Kree. We already knew those were out there. But now the full galactic universe is there. Galactus, Silver Surfer, Gladiator. I mean, I know Gladiator is probably like the lowest of the three, but everything is on the table. We're gonna get a proper Galactus in a movie. It's amazing. And I want to close things out with the possible #1 character I am most excited about seeing in the MCU, other than Deadpool, is Doctor Doom. Okay? Doctor Doom, to me, is the ultimate bad guy in the entire Marvel Universe. He has been my entire life. Thanos has kind of taken over a little bit, but in the grand scheme of things, whenever I was growing up, whenever I thought of Marvel Comics, and I thought of that big figure bad guy, it was Doctor Doom. And we are going to see Doctor Doom walk into the MCU. And I'm shuddering thinking about what Thanos is going to do. Bringing Doctor Doom in is even crazier. In Battle Worlds, that whole, thing they did last year, that may be how they completely reboot everything in a 5th Avengers movie. What do you guys think? What do you guys want to see with the MCU? Celebrate good times. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. We'll see you.